If it's not impacting your day-to-day trading, why aren't you learning it?
Yeah.
What are you scared of? There's 1,000 things of how to make 10K in a day. There's no, this is how you make money consistently through trading. There's no videos like that. So many people get caught up in that rush of seeing someone else making 20,000 payout, not realizing they've traded for 8 years. They've been trading for 2. I should be doing that.
Yeah.
You don't know what they went through for them 8 years. They might have lost 7 years straight. If you can tie certain reports together, you can then start to see how the economy moves. You need to look at unemployment claims. You need to look at CPI. You need to look at interest rates. Every trader gets that point of, I can't keep going like this anymore.
Yeah.
I had that. I need to make something from this. Holding yourself accountable is like the most important thing. Like you've got to know that it's you.
Yes.
It's never anything else but you. It's not the markets. It's not this. It's not that. It's not, that liquidity provider coming for your stop loss. It's just you. Your fault. You've taken a trade.
Yeah.
It hasn't played out. Accept it. Move on.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Alpha Capital YouTube channel. We have another great podcast here with Dom. We're going to learn about the highs and the lows of trading and how he's managed to get to where he is today and get through the struggles. So, Dom, pleasure. Thanks for coming, mate. And first, I guess, tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're from, how you started trading, and we'll take it from there.
All right. So, I'm from Bristol originally. I got into trading about 2.5 years ago. Now, it was one of them journeys where I didn't know if I wanted to get into it. I had a friend that was in it, and I was like, it seems a bit dodgy to me. There's a lot of risk on it. And I seen this nice car, and I seen it, and I was like, I'll have a look at it. Now, I didn't go down the traditional method of the demo accounts and all that, because he had his own prop firm, and I was like, I'll support my mate's business, yeah.
Okay, so he had a prop firm.
He had a prop firm.
Okay.
I'm not going to mention it, because...
Yeah.
But he had his own prop firm. So I was like, I'll support my mate's business. So I pumped some money. And I was like, it doesn't matter because it's my mate's business. Like, I'll make this work out and I'll get my money back. And then it ended up 6 months down the line. I still haven't made anything. And I'm like, should probably hold back a little bit now. But then I didn't. And it kept going and going and going. And the more I got into it, the more I was like, okay, I know that I can make stuff happen. But it's the getting there part that's the hard part. So that was how it started off. That was how the trading journey started. It wasn't demo account. It was straight in, balls deep.
Wow.
Yeah.
Throwing stuff in the deep end.
Very much so. And that incurred losses,
Yeah.
Do I think it helped? I think it did a little bit because you initially don't have that pressure that you get on a funded account. You don't get that with demo. So you don't ever get that initial emotional attachment to anything.
Yes.
So I learned that from the start. The issue is, have I mastered the emotional side of it before the chart side of it? Which I didn't. So, and at the start, you don't believe in psychology. You're like, oh, it's easy. It's fine. I can make money on the charts. The psychology side of it is a load of rubbish. You learn hard, don't you?
Yeah. I mean, I think when you said about the initial sort of pain and getting that emotional side of it in there, I do think that like demo accounts are useful to an extent, but I would equate it to like if you want to be a champion boxer, bag work's great. Do you know what I mean? Like getting the technique right and doing some pads and getting your footwork. That's like demo.
Yes.
At some point, you're going to have to get punched in the face, mate.
100%.
And that's the bit of boxing that sucks, right?
Yeah.
And that is the thing with trading is that you speak to any like top boxers and stuff. Does it hurt getting punched in the face? Yes, it still does. They've been doing it for 5-6 years. It still hurts, but you just get used to it.
Yeah.
And I think that's the thing with trading is like you have to get used to being punched in the face,
You do,
right?
100%.
So you obviously got that straight out of the gate, which is good. But like you say, you do doing the bag work and stuff and the footwork is important. And getting that right before you step in the ring.
Yeah, 100%.
And I guess you sort of like put the cart before the horse in that sense.
Yeah, I also think it's a case of the lack of discipline that comes with that. Because it's all well and good getting punched in the face. How do you recover from that?
Exactly.
If you haven't taught yourself how to recover from being punched in the face, being knocked down, all you're doing is just getting back up, getting punched again, getting back up, getting punched, and it becomes a cycle.
Exactly.
And I think that we spoke earlier on about this, and I said the cycle isn't spoken about enough. All you see is happiness.
Yeah.
And it's not the case.
Yeah.
There is struggles within this. There's also highs, but the lows can be very low, and it's just how you come back from it. That I think that's the most important part. Is how do you get back up after being punched so many times?
100%. So I guess going back to that start of your journey, because it's such an interesting way that you got introduced to trading. To actually have a friend there that sort of owns a firm and stuff. And I guess having the perception of seeing a nice car, seeing the guys doing well.
Yeah.
I guess, to be fair, that is sort of what draws everyone into trading.
100%.
Is like
you see the
idea
lifestyle.
that you can make money, right? That's why you do it. You don't necessarily think, oh, it looks like a fun thing to do. You think, okay, can it get me to where I want to be?
Mm-hmm.
And I guess from seeing that in person and seeing what seems to be someone doing it successfully, you do have that sort of, well, if they can do it, I can do it. How hard can it be? Circumstance.
Exactly that.
But like, what was your actual kind of strategy or approach, or how did you actually decide to buy and sell?
Yeah, I never actually went to him directly and said, "Can you teach me?" I was just like, "I'll figure this out on my own." So it started out. We were living at my girlfriend's parents at the time. We were saving for a house. I didn't have a laptop or an iPad. I was like, "Can I use your laptop?" Yeah, fine. So I went on the charts and NZD USD, right? Random pair. Not many people trade the New Zealand dollar against the dollar, right? And I was like, I'm just gonna go to the most basic things I can find: chart patterns.
Okay.
So it was breakouts, it was descending wedges, ascending wedges, all of this stuff. And I think I still have the notepad at home that I wrote down each thing, because I didn't know how to like journal or anything. So it was just writing down like this day, that position, this made that much.
Wow.
Okay. So it was very just writing down. And I went from it like that, and I was like, okay, cool. So this is how it works. But I'm back testing. So I'm not in replay mode. I'm just on the charts and I can see what's already happened. So I'm looking for these patterns now. So then when I went to the back testing side of it, and I was like, I'll pay for the 14-day free trial. This is something I want to, venture into. All of a sudden it wasn't working. And I'm like, well, what? It was working a minute ago. And then you started being like, well, how can there be such a difference between seeing what had happened and me marking it and then me doing it in real time? And that's when it comes to then I looked up of why can I analyze, but I can't trade. And there's a difference between an analyst and a trader, and you don't realize that at the start. You think if you can analyze it, you can trade it. Executions are important. Do you know what I mean? So
100%.
I learned that to begin with, the chart patterns and stuff. Higher time frame. This is taking days. I want to make money intraday. So then I'm going down that rabbit hole. And the problem is on YouTube, there's 1,000 things of how to make 10K in a day. There's no, this is how you make money consistently through trading. There's no videos like that. So you get warped into that side of it then, and you're just trying everything and anything.
100%. So like, what sort of stuff were you trying?
So
I guess to
it started off with the chart patterns.
Yeah.
And then
then you started doing that intraday, or you started doing other stuff?
So so then it was that intraday, and then there was a YouTube channel that I found. It was like all chart patterns and breakouts, retests, and all of this, right?
Yeah.
And it was like very specific. Then it was trend lines, and it was like I had like 1 million trend lines on my chart, and it was just everywhere, and I was in a panic, and I was like, yeah, this isn't for me. Then I found supply and demand. Now I actually made some money on supply and demand initially because I took my time with that one, and I found something that worked, and I could use it with a Fibonacci tool, which is something that I'd already learned from indicators and trend lines and all of that. And I was like, I can marry that with this. Now it makes more sense. But again, I was trading yen pairs. Now, yen pairs are just volatile. Again, instead of being like, I'm using this on the wrong asset, I was like, this isn't working. Let me go to something else. And I started applying breaker blocks, fair value gaps and all of that. Fair value gaps didn't work for me. I lost so many accounts from it. Order blocks, can't rely on them, can't decide which ones are right. Then I found breaker blocks, and I built a system on breaker blocks eventually. This is probably 1.5 years now into the journey, and I've gone through countless accounts because I've not been trading demo, you see?
Wow.
So all of these systems, it's not like a day I've been trading them. This is like months of, I've learned the basics, putting it straight into chart action. I'm straight on accounts. I'm not testing it for a month on demo, then going to a live account. I've just gone, I'm trading challenges, different systems.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, if you don't mind saying, like, how much did you blow through that first?
The first year?
Yeah.
So the first year was...
the thing is as well, I hate to sort of generalise, but I want to assume because someone with that sort of mentality, you're not getting a 5K account either, are you?
No, it was all 50s and 100s.
Yeah.
And as you can imagine, with that, the payouts are very small. So, it was like 2K here, 3K there, but then it was like, that still didn't really equate for how much I was losing. I mean, it was break even by the end of it, thankfully.
Nice.
So then after that first year, because obviously that first year was the big learning thing. Second year, then I had started to form, okay, the strategy might not work on this, but it works on that. So then I started to formulate more of a system. That's when I built a system that was basically liquidity sweeps, breaker blocks. That was how I was trading. And then that's how I developed then into what I use now, which is supply and demand, trend lines, support and resistance. So I've gone back
Full circle, because that's what works for me now, because it makes sense. So I might have strategy hopped, and I've probably been through every strategy you could possibly go through, but I've wound back up at 3 or 4 that I've combined into one for myself, which is now working out. It's really funny because the advice is always don't strategy hop, stick to one thing. But I agree with you. I think what the actual advice is, strategy hop all you can on demo for like 2 years.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
And then find what one of those actually works for you, and then find strategy, and then don't strategy hop.
Because if you actually looked at it from a broader horizon, okay, so support and resistance traders, they're normally higher time frame traders.
Yeah.
Hourly, 4 hours. It's all well and good having a 5-minute area of support. Is it going to hold? Probably not. So that is better suited for a working person. Okay, now strategy hopping, you can go through all of these. You can have scalping systems, swing trading systems, intraday systems. Now, if you work full time, 8 till 5, 9 till 5, there's no point trying to scalp. You're never going to do it unless you trade in Asia, but you're sleeping. So you need to find what works for you. So if you'd never strategy hop, you stuck to one thing forever. Let's just say that you traded 5 minutes, 15 minutes, supply and demand.
Yeah.
But you work full time. You're going to be going, it's not working. Why can't I get it to work? Well, you're working at the same time. You can't put your time into it. You're taking sloppy positions. How is this helping you in any way? But you refuse to learn anything else because you can't strategy hop.
Yeah.
Strategy hop, find something that works for you, that caters for you being in work.
Yeah.
When you're not working anymore, you can do what you want. But at the moment, like you've got to focus on what it is now, like relativity.
Yeah.
What is relative to your life? Like, it's all well and good me being a great scalper, but I'm at work 8 till 5. I can't be on my phone every 5 minutes. Like,
Yeah.
But people don't see it like this. They're just seeing it as, your strategy hop. You don't know what you're doing. It's like, I'm doing it as a discovery mission.
Yeah. Well, this is funny. It's you're right. Like people will say, find what works for you.
Yeah.
And in the same breath, they'll say, don't strategy hop.
Exactly.
But how do you do both, right?
You can't.
Yeah.
Because that's the advice that it's meant to give. The same with a lot of advice out there now. Don't ever risk more than 1% of your account. Why not? If you have a system, proven track record, trust it, and you see a perfect setup and it starts going to profit, there's an ad level, why wouldn't you risk more on that? If you're adding to your winner and you're reducing your risk as you go down, but you might still be increasing it slightly. So you're putting more risk on the table, but that top position's risk is reduced. Do you see what I mean? So you're building risk as you come down.
Yeah.
But you're right. Now you're giving yourself more room that if it does start to come back up, I'll close it at 1% loss. You might have 3% at your stop losses, but your 1% is there. But you don't teach people that. So they're seeing their mentors making 20 grand on a trade, not realizing they've added here, and here. They actually had 4% risk at their stop loss.
Yeah.
And you're just seeing the floating profits. But you can only risk 1%. It works for them. Doesn't mean it will work for you. It doesn't work for me risking 2%. That's where it comes to psychology, because I can't accept a 2% loss on a 200k account.
100%.
I see 4k and I'm like, I need to get it back.
Yeah.
Whereas other people are a lot more accustomed to losing 6, 7, 8,000 in a day. Yeah, that's right. Don't worry about it. You know?
Yeah.
So what works for them might not work for you. You might not accept 1% loss. You might need to use 0.25, but you've had it ingrained in you, 1%. So now you're trading 1%, and you're not accepting it. You're never reducing it because you've been told to do it that way.
Wow. So you trade higher time frames now?
No, I still trade lower time frames. I trade higher time frame direction. Like I use my higher time frame POIs, drop to a lower time frame for better entry.
Nice.
I don't want to be holding trades for days. I can't do it mentally.
Yeah.
It's just if I'm in profit for 4 days and then I take a stop loss, I can't promise I'm going to keep my account after that.
It's such a funny thing because people do talk about, again, finding what works for you, but they'll always say, like swing trading is it's less stressful for me.
Yeah.
And it probably is for some people because they'll be like, well, yeah, because, I set it and then I get on with my day. Whereas other people might be like, well, if I'm in a swing position I'm in a trade for 3 days, I can't sleep. I'm still looking at the thing.
But I know people like that.
Yeah.
I know people like that. I've tried swing trading. I don't sleep. I have broken sleep. My phone's next to me. Every hour and a half, it's like I wake up, automatically check my phone to see where the trade is, and it's like I have like a 300 pip stop loss. It's not going to hit my stop loss whilst I sleep. And if it has, I'm very wrong.
Yeah, 100%.
But again, it doesn't suit me. I think from my point of view, if I ever got into swing trading, it'd be more of an investment point of view.
Yeah,
of
makes
like,
sense.
all right, fine. I think the pound's doing well. Let me just buy a big bulk of pound and hold it for months.
Yeah.
Because I've got the capital to do it. And I'm like, I think this is the direction it's going to go.
Yeah.
Probably not even off of technicals, just based solely off of fundamentals and your feeling towards the economy. Like we live in Britain, so we should know how we feel the economy's doing. If I feel it's doing well, yeah, I'll swing trade that and I'll hold it for a month. And it doesn't make a difference then.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
So do you look into fundamentals and stuff like that?
Yeah, I do look into fundamentals. There was a point where I was really into it. So my last interview, I was like really heavy into it. I was proper nerdy and I was like really excited with economics.
Okay.
And then I've been trading gold recently, and like, fundamentals mean nothing to gold. Gold just moves.
Yeah.
It does. Like it's all well and good. Like you could have a bad inflation report for the dollar. Gold skyrockets, and the next candle it comes back down again.
Yeah.
It's like, well, it meant something and then it didn't because it's, do you know what I mean? Whereas currencies, now I'm getting back into currencies again, I'm going to be fundamentally backed again now.
That's interesting.
It's very important to me. Like understanding the current sentiment, like the current sentiment within the markets. Because fundamentals, we don't know it. Yeah, the big boys at the top, they know what's going on. So they're predicting their moves. Yeah, so that's why we have the big volume spikes. They're in the market then. We're not. Because we're not affecting it. So if I can pre-predict where it's going to go and then what the reaction is going to be like after, because they always say that, don't they? What is it, trade the news or something like that?
Yeah, buy the news, sell the rumor, buy the news, or one of those.
Something like that. Because what you do typically see is you see this big spike and then a correction, don't you? Now, I actually back-tested this. So what I've noticed with these big reports, NFP, CPI, all of these, when it comes out good for said currency, say we get a good NFP report, if the overall sentiment for the dollar at that point is strong, you'll see that NFP candle respected. If it's just a good release in amongst a load of rubbish from previous, bad unemployment claims, bad this, bad that, you'll see the market correct through that NFP candle. So that initial spike is completely irrelevant, but you won't understand why if you don't follow the rest of it. Because by following the rest of that, it makes sense as why has NFP gone up and then gone straight back down again. Does that make sense?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if you don't understand it, them news candles are completely irrelevant to your trading. People say, ICT traders say news drives the market to the price. It doesn't, does it? It's impossible to. It is impossible because if the market's going up very strong and then an NFP comes out like really good for the dollar against the pound's coming down. You can't tell me that was pre-written. Based off the numbers and the fundamentals and the technicals don't matter at that point.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how did you start getting into the fundamental side? We'll talk about it for a little bit because I think fundamentals is like a kind of a weird, nebulous, kind of scary.
Very difficult.
And I think,
difficult.
I think there's like traditionally, I would say like in more sort of traditional trading, there was always sort of two camps. One is like the fundamental guys who think that technicals is sort of just like astrology, and like fundamentals is where it's really grounded in. But on the flip side, you've got the technical guys who say, well, I can find stuff that's quantifiable, whereas the fundamentals are a bit more nebulous. And I think that those seem to be the two perspectives. So if you can kind of
there is completely
kind of marry both, but
this is the thing. There is two camps.
Yeah,
ICT traders are very, and I'm not hating on ICT at all. His systems work. People are profitable with it. Yeah. I think some people, even in the support and resistance side of it, like you just said, two camps, ICT traders, nothing else works. Yeah. Only ICT works. And for me, the technical could be there. You could have the strongest level, and then all of a sudden NFP comes out, and that level gets disrespected. So the ICT guys will be solely based technicals, whereas I'm looking at it of, okay, your technical makes sense, fundamentals come out. Can you marry the two? If I'm expecting a strong CPI or a strong NFP, I'm expecting the dollar to skyrocket, and I've got a nice level on euro, am I willing to risk 0.25% of my account to find out if that's right? Because my technical level's there, my fundamental level's there. I'm marrying the two now. Yeah. I have a reason to trade based off of fundamentals, but I've also got I'm wrong if it goes here. So then now I've married the two. A lot of people don't do that. Go, I think NFP is going to be good. I'm going to buy.
Yeah, like how have you kind of integrated that into your trading then? Like,
Yeah.
as far as like it's an extra confluence, or you'll come up with the trade idea based on the fundamentals, then you look for the trade, or
Yeah, so if I'm expecting a certain release, so if I'm expecting, so for example, the previous NFP that came out, not the previous NFP, the previous CPI that came out, sorry, which was yesterday, spiked up massively. I was expecting that anyway because there's a lot going on in the US at the moment with the tariffs and all of that. We had slowdowns of it, talks of interest rates, and I'm like, it's just too early still. So I was expecting it. Now, I didn't trade it. However, there was a level that I had that I wanted respected on euro. And I was like, okay, if I wanted to trade this, how much would I be willing to risk? Now, the issue is slippage, isn't it? You know,
yeah.
risking an account for slippage, it's like, you don't really want to do it. So I didn't enter it, but there was a level there. There was the fundamentals there. I knew that the fundamentals was released at that time. So now I'm looking, where can I get in the market to be in a position at that time? Because ideally, I want to be in a position early and be well away from my entry anyway.
Yes.
And I could just set break even, leave it. I can relax a little bit. Whereas if you're entering like 5 minutes before, it's just instant stress in it.
Yeah, 100%.
Like just major stress.
Yeah.
When you see that 60 pip candle just...
Mate. Yeah, well then this is what people don't seem to realise is like that can just gap so far through your stop loss.
Like heavily. Like it's even to the point of like I've held trades through these CPIs and stuff, being correct. Yeah. And it goes to your take profit and it's not closing. And it's like, can you just close the trade already? And you've seen like, I don't know, say 6,000 floating and it closes at 3,000. And it's just from that pressure, there just isn't the opposite side to be able to close it.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't know, it's just not worth it for me sometimes, I don't think.
Yeah.
You know, so I just try and stay away as much as I can.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean I'm not looking at it and predicting where it's going to go.
100%.
Because
so how do you come up with your thesis as fundamentals? You've obviously got like, I guess, interest rates and all of that sort of stuff.
So realistically, like, I don't want to say that I'm right and wrong. Okay, so there's I learned off of a guy called Ken. Okay. Now, I never did a course on anything, he just put out YouTube videos. And he basically said, if you can tie certain reports together, you can then start to see how the economy moves. Okay, so in times of high inflation, you'll obviously have higher interest rates. So in them sort of times, you'll see a lower employment because small businesses don't have the money to be able to pay the staff, right?
Yeah.
The same with if they have business loans, they have mortgages, they're all at higher interest rates now. They've got less being able to be put out. So instead of trying to cut down on what they're producing, they'll just cut down on staff because they're the biggest cost, aren't they, really?
Yeah.
In a business. Yeah, you've got your stock, but your stock pays for itself when you sell it. If you've got a member of staff that stood around, maybe you don't need them, you know, they'll get rid of them. So then you see higher unemployment. You'll also see fewer jobs created because people aren't hiring in times of high inflation, high interest rates because there's not enough money. Okay, and it's the same with knowing that. If you're really high interest rates and really high inflation, are you expecting the labour market, or the job market, to be strong? Probably not.
Yeah.
Not saying that there's not surprises in amongst it, but the vast majority isn't these huge jumps in creations of jobs. So knowing that, you've tied in, you need to look at unemployment claims, you need to look at CPI, you need to look at interest rates.
Yeah.
NFP, what do I think is going to be? Have they lowballed it? Because I've noticed that some of these predictions are just so far off, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And it's like, you then think, am I wrong for thinking it's going to be like the polar opposite end? Because there was one time where I thought that the job market was doing all right. I think it was like 110k predicted for an FP. Came out like minus 20k, and I was like, yeah, I breached an account on that one.
Wow.
Yeah, I did breach an account on that one. Because
they've had the big problem recently in the States because like the new numbers were revised down like crazy.
Yeah.
And they were saying that, at least some stuff that I've read about it, was that they'll be saying, oh, we've had lots of new businesses registered. And usually like, oh, there's new businesses forming. That's because everyone's doing really well.
Yeah.
So let's start a business.
Yeah.
Whereas now, because people, you have to register things like trading or like drop shipping or, you know, Ubering or Deliveroo, all this stuff as like a business.
Side hustles.
Yeah. It's actually, rather than people thinking, the economy's doing well, let's start a business, they're thinking, I'm really struggling. I need extra money. Let me try and start a business.
Yeah, it's not employment. It's just, like you said, side hustles. So it's not bettering the job market. It's just personal expenditure.
Yeah. Yeah.
So then you might get
and a lot of those people are still struggling. Like,
Yeah,
they
exactly.
might have 3 businesses because they drive Uber, they've got a Deliveroo and stuff like that, but they still can't pay the bills.
Exactly that. So you might get higher retail sales.
Yeah.
Because people might then end up having more money from these job creations, which are actually people starting side businesses. Because at the end of the day, if you've got an extra £2,000 a month, you're going to be spending more, aren't you?
Yeah.
Naturally, you would be like, oh, I'll buy that, You're not worrying. Retail sales might go up then.
Yeah.
Okay, which is obviously good for the economy. But you can't get blindsided by, like you said, what's actually going on. Now, you already know that if you're reading up on it, whereas some people just don't care, which is fine. It's fine to do it. But for me, I like to know what's going on because I don't want to be entering if I don't want to be wasting risk.
Yeah.
If it's obvious I'm going to be wrong within 10 minutes.
Yeah. But I think, how do you sort of, because that's the thing for me that with fundamentals, I'm quite technically driven as a trader, but I'm quite technically minded anyway. And because of that, I'm drawn to the numbers, the reports of being like, oh, well, this was the CPI numbers, this is the inflation numbers, this is the interest rate differential, this was the, sentiment index or whatever. And you can kind of just look at the numbers. But how do you kind of go from that to going beyond that and trying to see the reasons behind it and looking a little bit deeper? Because I think that's where I would slip up on fundamentals insofar as like things like that would catch me out. I'd be like, well, the job data was good.
Yeah. So that kind of stuff, it is really whether you want to get into it. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say that I'm into it because I'm not. I just go off them numbers. Yeah. So when you say that's going really deep into it, then that you're almost going into like sentimental trading.
I know.
And like full on like understanding, and that's deep knowledge.
Don't
get me wrong. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like I would love to have plenty of knowledge.
Yeah.
I just that takes years.
Oh, 100%.
And like you need to be able to register that the smallest thing here can affect that CPI number, and it'd be something that me and you would like look at and be like, that doesn't make a difference to that.
Yeah.
But it's a huge difference because you understand exactly how the economy is being built up. All I would be doing is attaching the big releases to each other to then be able to get a grasp of one, why did it do that on release? Because the worst ones is when it comes out and you get a big spike and then you get the drop straight after. Nobody ever makes sense of it because it's like, well, it was good, so why have we corrected it?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Same with,
because it's just one good figure amongst a bad actual market. Like,
so the market's reacted.
The market should be going down, but it just got a
exactly. It's reacted to that news.
Yeah, in isolation. It's
not relevant, so we'll correct that candle because that's pointless volume.
Yeah,
which is what I said I back tested through. Because it's the same thing with. I actually got caught out with this when the euro cut interest rate going back a few months.
Yeah.
And I actually lent on some of the more fundamentally, and I was predicting a cut for euro. Now, typically, cutting of interest rates is bad for the currency. So shorted euro, flew up, and I was like, well, what's happened there? Spoke to them more fundamentally driven. It was a bullish cut. What the hell is a bullish cut?
Bullish cut, yeah.
And then you learn then that, well, from whatever they said at that point, it was a good time to cut and it would benefit in this and benefit. And I was like, but that doesn't make any sense. So then, that would be the kind of place that you would then go deeper in and learn it. And I was like, nah, because it doesn't make sense to me. I'll just leave it as that.
It's massively complicated. That's the thing when I've looked into it and it's like, is a high interest rate good or bad? And it's like, it depends.
It does depend. The one thing that I mainly go on, that I've said to people before, that like, how does fundamentals work? If it's bad for a consumer, it's good for the currency. So
interesting.
Because when you look at it, if it's high interest rates, good for currency. High inflation, good for currency. Mortgages, high. Cost of goods, high. Not good for me.
Yeah.
So anything that's bad and badly impacts the consumers, me's and you's, typically you'll see good spike on the currencies.
Wow.
Because it is backwards, very backwards. Like when you look on Forex Fashion, it says greater than forecast is good, and it's like, but why do you want higher inflation? But for investors that are putting money into these places, they want more return, don't they?
Wow.
Because if you look at an interest rate, right?
Yeah.
If you looked at it as, let's just say in England, interest rates are, I don't know, let's just say that they were at 0.5%. So when your money's in that UK bank account, you're gaining, say, 0.4%, whatever it might be a year.
Yeah.
But then you have somewhere like the Swiss franc that might have 7% interest rates for that year. If you've managed to then move your money or whatever you might be in holding in that, the interest rate you'll be earning within that currency. Now, I suppose for me and you, we won't have access to do that, but investors will have the money and the connections to be able to move massive money from point to point,
Yeah.
So that then they can move their pound to the Swiss franc, hold their Swiss franc to get the better interest rates. Now, They're not doing anything with Swiss franc. They're just holding it for the extra income because why wouldn't they?
Yeah, it's like having it in a bank account with a great interest rate.
Yeah, they're making their money work for themselves. Why wouldn't you do that? But obviously we see that on the chart, but you don't really. If you see 100 million transacted, you'll see a move on the chart. Do you know what I mean? But typically you're not seeing that movement of money. And that's where it becomes very difficult then, because then you're understanding the investors and the big players. It's fundamentally driven. They're looking at where can I make the most money to by moving money from one to the other.
Yeah.
You know?
I think that's the way that I sort of got my head around it, is saying, really, when it comes to currencies, it really comes down to two things. One is interest rates, and the other is risk sentiment.
100%.
And that's sort of it. It's like,
100%.
Where can I put my money where it's going to get the most interest when the markets are feeling good? When the markets are feeling bad, it's like, okay, where can I put my money where it's going to be the safest?
Yeah,
and that's really just how it works.
And I think as of current right now, I think that's the biggest issue for a lot of traders, is because no one expected the dollar to have such a fall off.
Yeah.
Like no one expected to see it under 100 on the DXY. Okay, like it's low. And it was all because of these tariffs, and it all makes sense as to why.
Yeah.
Okay, but then you see these random days of like volatility and strength back in the dollar, and it's like the safe haven flows into gold and other more stable assets haven't gone away.
Yeah.
It's just day by day. Some people might be changing, moving money. And that's the big influxes of they've just moved money from here to here. For whatever reason they might be, they might need to move it from, I don't know, the Swiss franc to the dollar to then be able to put it into here, because you might not be able to directly, do you know what I mean? But we're not seeing that transacted. All we're seeing is charts, and all we've got is that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Wow.
But then is that coming off? This is where it comes. Is it coming off of the fundamentals? If I'm seeing fundamentally this is happening, that's happening, I'm seeing big moves on this. Are investors moving their money for confidence, or are they moving it for another reason? So that would be the more. But this would be more of a swing trading perspective, in all honesty, which is why I will get into swing trading. But I think for me, I would want more capital, because swing trading for me right now just wouldn't fit for what I want, if that makes sense.
Yeah, not as much frequent opportunity, you would say.
Yeah, 100%. And also being wrong over 4 days, just not for me, I don't think.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
That's that's a very interesting little sidebar on fundamentals, and I think people will be interested in hearing that.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot better people to learn off of, right?
Yeah, but I mean, it's like with a lot of things. You're at a stage where a lot of people are, right? Where they're like, it seems so daunting, man.
It does.
That's the thing with fundamentals.
Fundamentals, okay, and everyone I speak to, it's so confusing. How do you get into it? And it's like, honestly, just go at it slowly.
Yeah.
Understand one thing and another. Like, I can't tell you exactly how an economy performs, why it works the way it works. I can tell you that in times of high inflation and interest rates, chances are your job market's going to be slower.
Yeah.
Because you look at the common sense of it. Then I can also tell you, bad for consumer, good for currency.
Yeah.
And when you start looking at it like that, you then start to be like, okay, fair enough. Well, if that's bad, I'm going to be expecting that to be bad. And then all of a sudden, if you start then looking at it, you get a bit of confidence in yourself and be like, okay, fair enough. If that's bad, I can. And you start marrying things up then. But yeah, I mean, it's scary because people think that it's way too much knowledge to have.
Yeah.
There's too much to learn.
Yeah, but you can learn anything eventually, right? You can learn anything eventually, and that's sort of been my attitude. Is that when I first started kind of learning about fundamentals, I had the mentality of, I'm not going to let this impact my trading because I don't understand it yet.
This is the big thing.
So I'm going to trade purely technical.
Yeah.
But I'm going to, in the evening, rather than watching Game of Thrones,
learn in the background,
I'll just learn something about fundamentals.
Yes.
And if it takes me a few years to eventually learn it, then it's extra knowledge to have. And I think that's the way to sort of view it, is if you've got half an hour in the day, or instead of just, playing a video game, or if you're going to read something, just read a book on fundamentals, just anything like that. And eventually, you'll learn it eventually.
Yeah. But then that also then swings back to strategy hopping.
Yeah.
You learn fundamentals through background knowledge, like you said, learn it in the evenings. Is it affecting your trading at this time? No. So what's the harm in learning it? If you trade in support and resistance now, and you're like, it's not quite working for me on this, let me try and learn something else for this. If it's not impacting your day-to-day trading, why aren't you learning it?
Yeah.
What are you scared of?
Yeah, knowledge is power, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. And they say, paralysis analysis. Yeah, fair enough. You can have paralysis analysis, but you need quite an extreme to get paralysis analysis. Do you know what I mean? You need to have everything on your chart. But if you make sense of it, you could use 6 systems in one, and provided it makes sense to you, Doesn't make a difference. You could have a trend line Fibonacci, you could have this, that, GAN box,
Oh,
and then
it hit a fair value gap and 3 moving averages at the same time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's my entry. But
Yeah.
everyone's like, well, why are you saying? That's my system. I built it. That's how it works. Yeah.
100%.
And then
lunar cycles as well.
Yeah. I mean, some of them are crazy, aren't they? Like some of them are nuts. But yeah, I mean, like you said, background information. Teach yourself slowly.
Yeah.
There's no rush, which is my issue.
Yeah.
Rush.
That's the thing. So circling back to that, like, how did you go from where you were just spanking pop phone challenges to actually getting to a stage where, because I think everyone gets to a stage where they're like, I can't just keep doing this, right?
Yep.
Like something has to,
Yep.
what flipped the switch for you to kind of get you back on the right path?
Okay. So the thing is go in cycles of it. Every trader gets that point of, I can't keep going like this anymore.
Yeah.
I had that. I need to make something from this. I've got all of this knowledge.
Yeah.
So let me try and make something. So I then took a step back. This is what I'm going to do. 1 trade a day or 1.5% max loss per day, blah, 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 all of that. It worked.
Yeah.
Made profit, made payout. Now I've got money behind me again. I can risk more. Now it's gone. Now I'm going through that cycle. Okay.
Yeah. Another cycle to go through. Yeah.
People think that when you get to that stage of, I can't keep doing this anymore, that's it, you're done. Happy days. But then you've got the other cycles of, you've got money behind you, you can risk more, you can put 3% on a challenge, because you've got money behind you to buy another one if it goes wrong.
Yeah.
And then you're in that cycle then of trying to rush. Rushing is the worst thing that has ever happened to me. I want everything at once.
Yeah.
I don't want the Lamborghini and the Ferrari. I just want to be doing this full time. I don't want to work anymore. I want to. Do you know what I mean?
100%.
And then you then everything else goes out the window. Relativity, £3,000 in a day. Relativity, that's a lot of money. That's more than what I earn a month.
Yeah.
Not enough. I want more.
Yeah.
I'll come back the next day, chase it. Because I'm not then looking at the relativity. I'm just looking at, I want it now. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
And so many people get caught up in that rush of seeing someone else making 20,000 payout, not realizing they've traded for 8 years. They've been trading for 2. I should be doing that.
Yeah.
But you don't know what they went through for them 8 years. They might have lost for 7 years straight. They might have put 30, 40 grand into it.
Yeah.
They haven't even covered their losses yet. Some people don't speak about this, Because some of these big traders, they might have lost a hell of a lot of money before they've got there.
Yes.
Me, for example, I didn't go through the demos. I went through all of them. You would never have known that.
Oh, 100%.
You could look at my payouts from Alpha.
Yeah.
Oh, look, he's made money. You didn't see all everything that happened before.
This is more of a thing than people realize.
Yeah,
100%,
huge, massive.
100%. I mean, there'll be. I guarantee there's people that will post a payout on their Instagram that they've made 40 grand.
Yeah.
And they haven't even broken even.
No.
On the challenges they've
No,
spent.
I would completely agree with you.
Yeah.
I would completely agree with you. I could have a £6,000 payout.
Yeah.
And over the next 2 weeks, I could breach 3 accounts.
Yeah.
No one sees that. They just see the next payout certificate.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden it's, he's doing well. Yeah. But you haven't seen what I've done in between or what's going on behind the scenes.
Yeah.
And it can be a rush mentality, I think, more than anything else, because even larger traders will struggle with it.
Yeah.
They want more.
Yeah.
They're in that constant chase of they want more, they want more, they want more.
Yeah.
And relativity is so important in it.
100%. And I think this is what it comes down to is just the classic thing of just greed and impatience, right?
Massive. My biggest issue, greed and impatience.
Yeah.
You can sit here all you want and be like, I'm fine, I'm doing this well, I'm doing that well. But the grand reality of it is I haven't mastered greed. I haven't mastered the patience.
Yeah.
I haven't mastered enough's enough. Yeah. And I think until you've actually done that and you've mastered that side of it, it just doesn't affect you. You don't look at the numbers anymore. It is just charts. That's all that matters.
Yeah.
Until you've mastered that side of it, you're going to be in a cycle of constantly wanting more or chasing or doing silly things that ruin months of work.
Yeah.
Because you could sit and trade challenges for 2 months, pass them, and then you can breach them in 2 days because you just haven't mastered that greed and that psychology side of things. Because I used to think it was rubbish, but I struggle massively with the mindset and psychology side of things.
Wow.
Really bad.
So what's been your approach around tackle that? Because I know some people, they've got like coaches or stuff like that. Or do you think it's just an experience thing?
I think some of it's experience of, I think some people rely on data-backed systems, okay? So I've got data that backs my systems, and I have, this is the win rate, this is how much I've made over this amount of time. It's profitable. I don't listen to it. I take a loss and I'm like, No, it's fine. I'll just enter again because there's not a lot. Do you know what I mean? I don't listen to my data, so that doesn't work for me. Some people will look at data. That's fine. They trust it with everything in them. They take a loss. It's part of the system. Walk away. Come out the next day. Doesn't work for me. Other people do lifestyle changes. So like personally for me, I started going to the gym again. I eat the same food every single day now. Again, I used to be really into the gym. I got out of it and back into it now. That discipline and consistency should run into your trading, because if you have a messy life and like, everything's all over the place, how are you meant to be consistent and disciplined on the charts where things can get very messy very quickly? And if you haven't got control over outside aspects, it's going to very quickly run into that, because it's easy. It's a lot easier to do stupid things on your phone than it is to do stupid things to your outside external factors.
Yeah.
You know? So personally for me, that's the way it works.
Yeah.
And obviously
I completely agree with that.
You've got psychology coaches and mindset rooms, Discord servers for it. But yeah, personally for me, I don't like relying on someone else, because you could tell me exactly how your mind works and how you fixed your problems, but that might not work for me. And now all of a sudden, if it's not working for me, you start not trusting yourself.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, I don't know. For me personally, lifestyle changes and just holding yourself accountable is like the most important thing. Like you've got to know that it's you.
Yes.
It's never anything else but you. It's not the markets. It's not this. It's not that. It's not, you know, that liquidity provider coming for your stop loss. It's just you. Your fault. You've taken a trade.
Yeah.
It hasn't played out. Accept it. Move on.
Yeah. 1,000%.
Okay. Now, I've told you all of this. Yeah, I still not mastered that part of it.
Yeah.
Okay, because it is so hard to be able to do it, which is why I think there's so many, like, so few traders that have made it, because it is hard.
Yeah.
Very hard.
I'll give you this one for free, because this is I'm generally, as far as like the trading psychology stuff, I think there's some of it that makes sense. There's some of it that I think is a bit irrelevant or maybe not as beneficial as people make it out to be. But the one piece of advice that I got that is good, so this is for you, it's for everyone at home, is that when, obviously we've got like lizard brain and all that stuff. I don't know all the different names like the prefrontal cortex and this and that, but when you experience a loss or you're in that pain mode or that fight or flight mode, or you know that feeling, we know the feeling.
Yeah.
You're kind of not in a position where you can make a good decision at that point, because the blood isn't in the right part of your brain, and it takes 5 minutes for it to get back. So the best piece of advice that I'll give to anyone, because the fact is, right, even if you're on the 1 minute chart, there shouldn't be another setup in 5 minutes that's legit, that isn't just revenge. Yeah. Because most of it is just almost smash another one. If you take a loss, just get on your phone and say, hey Siri, set up time for 5 minutes. Just sit there and just breathe, all right? Wait for 5 minutes, wait for the blood to get back into the right part of your brain, and then you can technically actually make a decision. And then analyze it and say, is this setup still valid? But you're chemically incapable of doing it for 5 minutes. Just realize that. And as soon as I realized that honestly has been a massive, massive help. Yeah. So that's my top piece of advice, bro. Just get a timer. Whenever you take a loss, hit it, and you are not allowed to touch it for 5 minutes. Because, you know, if after 5 minutes you breathed, you thought about it, you come back and you can still look at it and say, actually, it's still within my area. It's still with this. It's still been respected. All right, we're going to go for it. Yeah. But that's the top tip. That, to me, is the top kind of thing.
And I can, from experience, the trades that are taken after taking that stop loss, instantly entering, larger lots, tighter stop losses. Yeah. And like you said, it's not a conscious decision. It's just I need it back.
Yeah.
Because it is impulse. You watch it hit the stop.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, you've increased the stop loss. Oh, done it again. Yeah. And like you said, it's not a conscious decision. It's not a valid setup. Yeah. And if it is, you'd see it after 5 minutes of, okay, it's hit my stop. It's come back to my entry point. Has it given me this? Yes, it has. All right, I'll enter again and use that as my stop loss now.
Exactly.
Yeah. You haven't allowed at the time. Yeah. And in that time, you've probably, like, you know, me personally, I breached my account in that time.
Yeah.
You know, like
by the time the smoke's cleared, you're like, what, I just entered 15 times in that time. 100%. I don't even remember doing it.
Yeah, exactly. And the same with like, a big issue of mine is that removing the stop loss, like not respecting the stop loss. Like it is a habit that some people get into. Like I think more people do it than what they let on. Yeah. Because you've seen some people enter and it's like, that's gone a long way against you before it's come back down. And they're like, yeah, no, my stop line. And it's like, never. No. I've seen you trading 1 to 4 R, and now you've only got a 1 to 1 R. But all right, fine. Yeah. As soon as I remove that stop loss and I start seeing more than what I originally wanted to risk, I'll enter again. Yeah,
averaging in.
Yeah, DCA. Yeah. because it will come back.
Yeah,
And then
I'm
you-
getting it at a better price now. Yeah,
exactly. And then you end up with
mate.
that hope. Do you know what I mean? And then by the end of it, you started at like 0.5 lots on gold. Then you got like 0.75. And by the top, you're in 2 lots because you're like, well, if it just comes down by 5 pips, then it's fine because I've made it all back. And then it's just going up and up and up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I've lost accounts from that, daily drawdown, just no stop losses, full
Yeah.
porting. And it's not a case of I'm a bad trader. It's just a case of like mental mastery, I think,
Yeah.
more than anything else.
I know. But I do think this is where the benefits of prop firms come in, insofar as having rules, having daily drawdowns, daily loss limits, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times people look at the prop firms and say, well, these rules, they're just there to catch you out. But the fact is that if you had 20 grand in a personal account and you traded like that, bro, it would have been liquidated in no time anyway.
I also think some firms have rules that affect traders more than others.
Yes.
Other firms, the rules aren't as bad as what people make out.
Oh, 100%.
Like 5% daily drawdown. Right. Okay.
Yeah.
If you're looking at it from an equity point of view, you've only got, say on £100,000, you've only got a 10k account. So they're giving you 5% of the overall account, but you're actually using 50% of your maximum allowance.
That's it, yeah.
So, all right, Sam, you've got a 20k personal account. Well, you've risked 50% of it. That's 10k in a day.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So, 5% is quite reasonable.
100%.
Yeah. It's not a rule to catch you out.
Yeah.
It's a rule there to try and help you, if anything, of like, stop now. Before it gets too bad, just stop. Because especially on the future side of it, they have the lockouts now, don't they?
Yes.
Now, obviously, CFDs, you haven't got that, but I think it would help a lot of people if it was on CFDs of just being like 2% stop, because some days I stop.
Yeah.
Other days I need to get it back.
That's it. So if it actually locks you out, so you can't
Yeah,
trade.
it'd be so much better. But then, some firms, they don't want to lock you out because they know people like me on a bad day, I'm breaching that account.
Yeah.
I
I think that is the thing with Alpha, is that like they do want people to succeed, because the thing with having the prospect of going to like Prime, they've found so many amazing traders, man.
They have.
It really is incredible.
Yeah.
And chatting to the guys behind the scenes, that it's amazing to see that, from giving people the opportunity, because that is what the prop trading thing is.
It's opportunity.
It's an opportunity, right? And from having that opportunity to actually do this properly, right, and implement it in a professional way, with good risk management and all this stuff, like the thing that comes out of it, man, there's some really, really amazing traders out there.
No, there really is. And like you said, majority of firms, they'll have scaling opportunities and stuff, but it is near impossible to actually do it.
Yeah.
Okay. It's very hard. You've got to make 10%, and then it goes up by 10%, and it's difficult, right?
Yeah.
Whereas, like you said, if you manage to be consistent and show discipline, and what you're supposed to be as a trader, will reward you by inviting you to Alpha Prime.
Yeah.
That's something to work towards. Like you said, you're going in the right direction. As far as the prop firm's concerned, it's not they're out to take my money. They're trying to get you somewhere in a space that you're trying to get into. So, from my point of view, they're on the right track.
Yeah.
They're not trying to catch you out. It's just certain things are there to try and help you.
Yeah.
But they're trying to better you as a trader.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, because there are going to be traders that are not taking it seriously, you would say, and are just trying to make a quick buck. So obviously they need to kind of weed those out through having rules.
Yeah.
And then once you find people that are doing it legitimately, if you can give them money and they can make money, like it's a win-win.
It's a win-win.
Like, at the end of it, it's like a win-win situation.
Yeah.
Like if you're making money and they're making money,
Happy days. It worked.
It worked, right?
So the whole point of the prop firm worked at that point, because
exactly
people think the prop firm's designed to take money off of people that can't trade. Which
and some of them are.
Some of them are.
Yeah.
Some of them are. However, when you see other firms that have a trading floor for the successful traders that have been through the system of it, and they've collected the data on these traders, put time into, we'll have a look at these traders, we'll monitor them. I've now got enough data on them. I know this, that, and the other about them. Let's invite them down, and then we'll get institutional traders to teach them. I don't think you can quite say that firm's out to get you at that point.
Scamming, exactly.
I just can't see it myself personally.
100%. I mean, no one else is doing it like it.
No, they're not.
It's
they're
incredible.
Not. Bit biased here, but
no, same. I mean, that's why I'm here. To be honest. I think, it's incredible to see the levels that they're going to, and again, the opportunities that are available.
Oh, 100%.
If
it's not even just the case of what you can progress to; it's even the case of what Alpha do.
Yeah,
giveaways wise. Like,
Yeah.
there's no other firm I've been in, and I said something funny. Alex has been on the chat. Give him a 50k account. What?
Yeah.
Just give it to someone.
Alex is a legend, man.
If they're doing that,
Yeah.
they don't want you to fail. They're trying to help you out.
Well, I remember when I first started, and Alex just threw his mobile number in the chat and was like, if anyone needs anything, just give me a call. I was like, what?
Yeah, I actually know a trader to this day
Yeah.
that still talks to Alex, and Alex sorts everything out for him pretty much instantly.
Yeah.
Because he has people's interests at heart.
Yeah.
Because I mean, like you said, like he might have done well. He wants other people to do well now.
Yeah.
No cost to him because it benefits him if they're doing well in the long term.
Yeah.
Realistically, if Alpha's doing well, it benefits trader and everyone else.
Exactly.
So
100%.
yeah, I mean, Alpha on a level of what they give to consumers, yeah, unmatched really.
Yeah, 100%. So as far as we've sort of learnt a bit about where you started and where you are at now, like what do you see? Like what's the plans for the future? Where do you see yourself in a couple of years?
So in the future, a couple of years, I'd ideally like to be off of prop firms.
Yeah.
Just because I've had a taste of trading personals. The rules are there to protect you. There is a level of stress that they bring.
Yeah.
Because you are worrying about, I'm in this long position, it's going well. If it hits my take profit during news, is it going to be like a breach? Because some breach your account for news trading, others take your profits away. It's that constant thing in the back of your head of you have to be on it all the time.
Yeah.
Whereas like a minor, I don't know, like a euro speech might not affect a gold trade at all, but in a firm it might do.
Yeah.
It's that constant stress in the back of your head that if I had 100k personal, I can hold through that and not have to worry about it. And instead of cutting a trade for 2% that I wanted to go to 6%, I can hold it through it because I wouldn't normally worry about that. I'm just what's on the chart.
Yeah.
You know, so there is that. But yeah, I mean, ideally, I want to be a full-time trader. I want this to be my life, okay? Because how do you say it? It's nice. It's a nice way to live. It's not a case of Lamborghini, Ferrari. For me, it's waking up when I want.
Yeah.
Going to the gym when I want.
Yeah.
I'll have a coffee now. Go for lunch with this person. Freedom of choice that this brings. And I think this is my biggest issue is I'm rushing to get there. I'm not looking at relativity if it's not going to happen overnight.
If you're in a position where you just don't like where you're at, you're like, oh, I don't like my job's annoying and stuff like that. It's only natural to be like, I just want this to be done now.
And that will lead to, and I've said this before to many people, desperation is worse than greed. If you're desperate to get out, greed's nothing compared to that. Because if you're desperate, you're doing really stupid things. Greed will make you not accept that that's enough money.
Yeah.
It will make you chase this because you want more.
Yeah.
Whereas desperation will make you do silly things when you're in good positions. You could have a big funded account. You're desperate to make that money. You're going to do silly things. And you've got the opportunity there and you'll throw it all away for desperation. Whereas greed, you just won't take the profit when you should have.
Yeah.
You might still make profit.
Yeah.
But do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You might take a 1% loss when you've already locked a 10% payout in because you want more. That's the greed side of it. Desperation would be you need 18,000. You're up 12.
Yeah.
I'm getting to 18,000. Loss. Do you see what I mean? So yeah, desperation, it can be dangerous. And I fall into that trap quite a lot because, like you say, you want to live the life now.
Yeah.
And you're not looking at it from the broader picture of it, are you?
Exactly. But mate, it's just a learning process.
It is a learning process.
Like it sounds like such a cliche, but it's the journey, man. Like trading is a journey, and it teaches you about yourself.
100%.
And if you let it, like it will form you into someone at the end of it that you know is more capable, right? But it's just going through the pain of getting there.
Yeah, I also think it's the case of when you start out, you think it's just charts, this, that.
Like, it looks so easy.
The journey it's like something that you never experienced. There's nothing else that I've ever done in my life that I can say is as difficult mentally as this is, because it's not just a case of trading is hard. Like the actual learning of trading is hard. The acceptance that it's you, like you are the problem here.
Yeah.
It's not the charts. Being able to sit back and say, like, I am responsible for every mistake that I have made up to this point, it is hard to accept mentally. You are the reason you're not where you want to be. You are the one that's holding you back. Now, some people, naturally, their trading's not there. But I think for the vast majority, the system is in place. It works. They're just not allowing it to. And yeah, like, it can be tough. people go through mental hell to get to that point at the end, but it's never spoke about. All you see is 20k payout, you know, and that I think for a lot of people is very difficult because they feel like they're alone in it all. Because you do, don't you?
Yeah.
And naturally in trading, you feel very isolated. Like you're not where other people are, so you can't relate to them. I'm not where they are, so they can't relate to me.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm in this on my own. I'm the only one that's losing all this money. I'm the only one that's going through these psychological difficulties. I'm just going to keep myself to myself, try and fix it. And in reality, I think more people are going through it than what they think they are.
I completely agree. So, okay, on that note, what message would you give to people that are either just starting out or in a position where they're just getting beaten up by the markets?
Yeah.
And
So I think there's two different pieces of advice there, really. So like starting out is just go through your lifestyle of what do you actually want from this? Like, do you want it as a side income? Do you want it as a full-time income? Because them two things will define how you start your journey. If it's a part-time thing, you're going to be better off swing trading because you can set it, forget it, make a couple of £100 a month, done.
yeah,
If you want it to be a full-time thing, you're going to need to go into the intraday or scalping side of things. But if you're doing that and you work full-time, you need to look through multiple systems, multiple strategies to find what works for you and caters for your needs with the job that you have. Okay, so that's what I would say for starting out. And don't neglect the psychology side of it. Like master your mind, because if you don't, you're going to be throwing money at nothing, basically, throwing it at the wall.
yeah. And as far as, because you obviously didn't start on demo. Like,
No, I didn't. And I lost a lot.
Would you say that people should start on demo while they're still learning the actual technicals? And
Yeah, so I'm not a big fan of backtesting, okay, because I think backtesting, it gives you data, yeah, but if I backtested 2023, I could have a 50, 60, 70% win rate. Trump wasn't in power then, tweeting whatever he's tweeting, you know, so now my 70% win rate's down to 40%, so that backtesting doesn't really mean anything. You need a forward test. You need to see how you're losing, how you're accepting the losses. You know, if you're placing your stop loss wrong, are you accepting you've placed your stop loss wrong, or are you chasing it? So yeah, I'd go on the route of demo trade to learn your system in and out,
Yeah.
so that you know how to execute when you're executing and how you accept a loss. But don't hold on to demo of you can only do it once you've made X amount on a demo account.
Yeah.
Because you need the mental resilience of this is real now.
100%.
You know, but if you're not got a lot of money, don't go for a 100k account.
Yeah,
just
get
go
a
for
5k, man.
5k.
Yeah.
Learn it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now, the relativity side of it comes into things then.
Yeah.
So, you know, I don't know, maybe someone in the UK, start with a 25k account.
Yeah.
Take it slow. Yeah, because if you get a 25k account and you breach it within the first day, and it's your first, probably not for you, go down to a 10k.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're scared of losing that money.
Yeah.
When you start on big accounts, you become accustomed to it. So then the little accounts are very difficult to trade because the satisfaction isn't there.
Yeah.
And relativity goes out the window. You're not looking at it, if you've made 8%, you're looking at it, it's only 800, I could have made 8,000.
Yeah.
So don't go big to begin with. Like just start small, learn, practice, then go scale up slowly, which is what I didn't do.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And I think, what was the other question?
Advice for someone who's like, they sort of know what they're doing, but they just again,
Oh, they
they
feel like
they're
up.
getting beaten up, man.
Yeah, I feel like that on a daily basis sometimes. You do. You as a trader, you go through it. Okay. Now, if you looked at the majority of the gurus in the space, right, they do make money eventually, right? Every single one of them will actually teach you that they've been through hell before they got there. No matter how flashy they are, they will all talk. It was hard at the start.
Yeah.
So, you know, you have two options in trading: you get beaten up. You
Yeah.
keep going, you keep getting up, keep getting beaten up
Yeah.
for what's not the end, or you take the punch, you just lay down, forget it, don't want to do it anymore, you know? So if you're struggling now, you just need to ask yourself the question, do I want to give up? Do I want to carry on?
Yeah.
There's only two ways to go about
That's it.
you know?
Yeah.
There is only two ways, but don't let that turn into, let me chase back what I've lost.
Yeah.
I need to do that before I quit. It's like, if you're pursuing it for a reason because you want to do it. You're not pursuing it for desperation to make your money back because dangerous ball game.
100%. Wow. Okay. This has been an extremely interesting conversation, and I'm
Yeah.
glad that you've come down to sort of give a different perspective on things, really.
Yeah.
I think, like you said, it's something that needs to be spoken of, really.
I think so, yeah. I think it's more a case of I could come here and be like, I've made this, made that. It's completely irrelevant to the majority of people. They don't want to know that.
Yeah.
You know, I can tell you about how much I've struggled to get to the point that, you know, I've been invited for an interview.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
This is it.
I've struggled. You know, I'm still not perfect now, but I'm better than where I was 2 years ago. And that's all that's important, because in another 2 years' time, where will I be?
Absolutely.
And if I lay down now, I'm never going to know that. That ain't what I'm about.
100%.
I can't go through life being what if.
No, that's it. It seems like a cliche adage, but it is true that the difference between the people that succeed and the people that don't, they both go through the same stuff.
Yeah, they do.
It's just one of them doesn't quit. So you just go.
It's just what you can handle mentally.
Yeah.
It is hard. Yeah. Like the mental struggle is not, and I think everyone feels alone and they don't need to be in that space of, oh, I'm alone. It's like, if you reach out to the majority of people, especially even in the Alpha Discord, they're going to say to you, like, here's my advice to you. Like, even the moderators in the Discord will be like, this is our advice to you. Like, we'll help you out here.
Yeah.
Because they've been there themselves. Yeah. Why am I not helping them?
I think that's a great thing as well, because trading can be very solitary, right? 'Cause it's just you and the charts.
You and the charts.
But if you can be in like the Alpha Discord and chat to other traders and just say, this is how I'm feeling, this is blah, blah, blah. Just having some sort of support network, man, it is an incredible thing
massive help. Massive help. Even to the case of, if you've taken the loss that day and you're like, oh, I'm unsure about it, and you think you're going to chase, send it to your mate of what's happened.
Yeah.
Or send it to someone in the Discord.
Yeah.
I'm doing this. They're going to stop.
Yeah.
Just stop.
Get some accountability.
You know what I mean? And it's that extra help without it being anything wrong with it, you know?
100%.
Because trying to stop yourself can be hard sometimes. It's someone screaming at you saying, stop being an idiot.
Yeah.
Can help massively.
Huge.
You know?
Yeah,
So,
well,
yeah.
again, I guess that's why in traditional trading floors there was a risk manager there who would not let you take another trade.
Yeah, exactly.
So everyone talks about, like these prop firms with their rules. Is like, that's how it sort of started, is they'd say, I want to take this trade. Can I have a 5% risk, please, sir? And they'd say, okay, go on. And as soon as that's on, no, you're done.
You're done now. Yeah, exactly.
So sometimes it is nice to have a bit of accountability.
Yeah, fully. And it doesn't always need to come from yourself. I mean, I know we've spoke about accountability. You need to be accountable. You do need to be accountable for your mistakes.
Yeah.
But if you are struggling,
get some support.
Get some support.
Yeah.
It's so much easier. You haven't got to go through it alone, because it's just exhausting, isn't it? Like, so exhausting, like mentally just tiring. Same things over and over again. Someone that's already done it for 3 years. I'll give you some tips. I'll give you some advice. This is what not to do. This is what I have done.
Yeah.
If you carry on doing it, you're going to end up really gone through it when you could have cut it in half by just having a support network.
100%.
I think, yeah.
So, guys, join the Alpha Discord for support.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Right, mate, fantastic chat. And thanks for coming down and
thank you.
for sharing your perspective. I think people are going to find it helpful and enjoyable. So,
yeah, I hope so.
It.
Nice one.
Cool, thank you. Okay, guys, thank you for tuning in. Stay tuned for more amazing podcasts, like, subscribe, all of that good stuff. And we will see you in the next one.